Natarajan. W 2026, 19, 18, 10. On for first appearance in detention motion. May I have appearance counsel, please?
Good morning, Judge. Assistant Prosecutor Christopher Lyons on behalf of the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sally Ann Mumfire on behalf of Ms. Natarajan, who is standing to my right.
And did you review the charges with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I've reviewed the charges with my client. I waive a formal reading of the complaint and ask the court to enter not guilty plea on my client's behalf.
Court will enter a not guilty plea. Did you,
Your Honor, my client is approved for the public defender, and my understanding is she is not retaining private counsel.
is that correct, ma'am? You have to answer for the record. Everything gets recorded.
Yes, ma'am.
And you need to speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I do have to go over certain rights with you. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, and someone will be appointed to represent you. You have a right to a probable cause hearing. You have a right to have your matters presented to grand jury. You can waive that right and be tried by the court. There are certain programs that you may or may not be eligible for with these charges. You should review those with your attorney. PTI is one. Recovery court is another. Now, if you are not a United States citizen and if you plead guilty to or are convicted of certain offenses, including some motor vehicle offenses, it may result in your being deported from the United States, or it may prevent you from being readmitted to the United States if you leave voluntarily, or it may prevent you from ever becoming a naturalized American citizen. You have a right to seek advice from an attorney about the effect a guilty plea will have on your immigration status. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a military veteran?
No.
Your next court appearance will be February 27th before Judge Wilson. If you are released today and fail to appear, a bench warrant will issue. However, the state has moved for detention. There is a presumption of detention in this particular case. So I will hear from defense counsel first.
We are going to stipulate to probable cause for purposes of this hearing only, as well as my client is prepared to consent to detention.
Ma'am, if you would raise your right hand. As much as you can, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. You need to speak up.
Truth.
All right, please put your hand down. All right, you have heard from your attorney that you will be consenting to detention, is that correct? And have you had enough time to speak with her regarding that decision?
We have discussed everything.
All right, has she answered all of your questions?
Yes.
All right, at this point, are you satisfied with the information that she gave you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you do wish to consent to agree to being detained at this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything from the state?
No, Judge. Thank you.
All right. The state will grant the detention. For the record, the court does find probable cause does exist in regards to 2 counts of murder and possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose. In addition, that there is ample evidence to detain this defendant. The evidence against the defendant is strong. I will not reiterate all the facts and circumstances of this case, but the evidence is quite strong. And there appears to have been a search warrant that was executed at the residence. And a note was allegedly handwritten by the defendant in which she describes her plan to kill her children and then commit suicide. This clearly shows premeditation on her part. She also made several suicidal statements to her husband and responding officers consistent with those in the note. The court finds that this act demonstrates an extreme act of violence against the most vulnerable citizens of our state. The disregard for human life the defendant allegedly demonstrated in regard to her children strongly indicates that the lives of other members of the community would be endangered if the defendant is released. In addition, under NJSA 2C11-3K, this defendant is facing potentially 2 terms of life without parole if convicted. Risk of flight is great. Therefore, the presumption would not have been overcome, and the court finds that detention is appropriate. Thank you. Your next court appearance is before Judge Wilson on February 27th. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.